What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Married to Reality. I'm your co-host, John, here with my wife and co-host. When I ask her a question she doesn't want to answer, she just says, I'm sexy, baby. I am sexy. It's the one and only Teresa.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing?
Doing pretty good.
Good.
Season 5, episode 5.
Wow.
5 for 5. 5 for 5. 5 5. 5 5. Say 5.
High five.
5 5. High five. High five to that Paul reference. 5 for 5.
Is that a Paul reference?
Oh, come on. Paul in the supermarket with Karini. Be like, Karini, you buy 5. You say 5. If you buy 5, you say 5.
I mean, he's right.
5 for 5.
He's right.
He's right. He explained it better than anyone can. He was on the wrong show at that point. He should have been on Extreme Couponing. But 5 for 5, season 5, episode 5. Loved it.
Listen,
Loved this episode.
when I see 3 nice-looking cucumbers, 3 for $5 or 1 for $2.50, I'll get 3.
Yeah, but I think there's a misconception that if you don't buy the 2 for $5 or the 3 for $5, that you're going to pay some crazy price. In my experience, you just pay half. If it's 2 for $5 and you just buy 1, in my experience, you get it for $2.50.
No, you would get it for like $3. There is always... The catch is that you always save a little bit of money.
Maybe they just like me at Publix because I'm pretty sure I've been like, well, I don't need 10 cucumbers because it's always like 10 for 10. And I'm like, nobody needs 10 cucumbers.
We do eat a lot of cucumbers, right? I only buy things like this, like things I need or we need, right? I wouldn't see a grapefruit that I don't like and be like, oh, 10 for 10, I have to get it. It's like, no one's going to eat it. That's a waste of money.
We love watching Extreme Couponing, but we could never do it because we don't ever need 24 bottles of Gatorade.
Because we don't drink Gatorade. That's the thing. Usually the things we eat, and I do look if there are coupons and I'll try to apply, but the things we eat, there are no sales.
Those people don't eat it either. They just hoard it. You know, you never see them actually enjoying whatever they bought.
I know.
You just see them storing it.
John and I, we eat a lot of meat and veggies, right? Those are never on sale. If there was a chicken on sale, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Because it's probably old.
But we did see dollar store steak.
Yeah, no, thank you.
No, thank you. Guys, we're covering a lot of shows, but we're not covering Extreme Couponing. So I don't know why we're talking so much about this other than to say season 5, episode 5. Season 5, episode 5.
High
and
five.
Loved it. Loved this episode.
So good.
Start to finish. Fantastic. And we're going to get into it. But before we do, a couple things. If you guys want to follow us on social media, you can do it. You should do it at Married to Reality Pod on Instagram.
Guys, do it. It's so much fun. We post our memes. We post our updates. We post when the episodes are released in case you're not following us.
And if you're not subscribed to the podcast,
yes,
then we let you know when things are dropping. But that brings me to my next point. After you follow us on Instagram at Married to Reality Pod, follow the podcast, okay? Because we do have a lot of pods coming at you. They're coming fast and furious, and we want to make sure you don't miss them. So the best way to make sure you get every minute of every podcast is to follow the podcast wherever you're listening. So easy to do. Just look down and smash that follow button.
Yeah, guys, smash it like it's as hot as the springs. Woo! Michael and Ximena were making out and that was long.
That was hot. That was
but
hot.
That looked
hot.
Nice.
I saw you eyeing those springs because you always want to bring me to a hot spring in your country.
Yeah, we have beautiful springs too. Not with the waterfall. We just have these medical springs.
Okay. And we'll go one day. Potentially, hopefully not with your whole family, but if they do come.
Oh, they would come.
Okay, well, if they do come, we won't make out like teenagers in the pool next to them.
100% not.
100% not, because that would not be hot. That'd be a little creepy.
That would be a little weird.
A little creepy. Hey, whatever you're into, folks, just not for us.
Well, not to get ahead of ourselves, but we were not the only people thinking this. Father Ximena was not loving it.
Yamir Yager, clocking that from across the pool.
Oh, his
name's Yamir. It throws me every time I hear it. I'm like, what?
Spelled differently, but sounds similar.
Yeah. Okay, so you're following the Instagram, you're following the podcast. One other thing, if you haven't left a review, it would be amazing if you could, especially right now as we're getting into the thick of all these shows we're going to be covering. 90 Day, Darcy and Stacy, The Single Life, Married at First Sight. It's a lot, and it would mean the world if you could just leave us a review, a rating or a review. If you have nothing to say, just drop us a rating. That also helps us out.
100%. And as John just said, we're going to be dropping all these shows. If you want to know the exact schedule, go to our Instagram because we just posted it.
Yes.
On our IG, Married at Reality Pod.
What? Do you follow us, Teresa?
Is it?
Married to Reality Pod.
What did I say?
I don't know.
I said married at, I was like married at first sight.
Guys.
Don't follow us at the Married at Reality. Married to Reality Pod.
Yes.
Correct?
I think so. I want to make sure you're following us.
Oh, I'm following, but I was literally just going to say married at first sight.
Yes.
So this is where
That's
the
one of the
mix-up
shows.
happens.
It's one of the shows we're covering. With like 19 other shows, I got out of breath just listing them.
I know. I got so mixed up just thinking
That's
of
okay.
them.
That's all right. There's a lot going on.
This was a little wild.
There's a lot going on. Just to be clear, it's Married to Reality Pod.
Thank you.
You
and
got
if
it?
you want to know the exact schedule,
Yeah.
go to our IG.
Teresa, you're wearing our shirt.
I know I am.
Teresa is modeling one of our long sleeve black tees, Married to Reality.
Well, I love it, but not to be biased. I actually really like the shirt, like the material, and it's comfy. So it's definitely one of my go-tos.
This actually is an ad. A lot of times we say not an ad. This is kind of an ad for the
It's
shirt.
an ad for ourselves, but also for our merch store. But also, I'm just saying that I like it. I feel good.
Do you know where the merch store is? Could you direct people to the merch store? Because you struck out when it came to the Instagram.
Go to our website.
Okay.
Married to Reality podcast.com.
Nailed it.
And there is a little button that says
Store.
Store.
Close. Very close. I'm going to give you credit for that one.
I was going to say merch store, but guys, if you see store, I'm sure you guys all would understand.
You guys will figure it out.
I've been to our website. I go to our website once in a while.
Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Why wouldn't you go there? Check it out. See what's going on.
Yeah, and I go to our merch too.
All right. I'm glad. And you're wearing the merch, which
I'm
is the
doing
most
it all.
important. Okay. We digressed a little bit because I was asking for reviews. We appreciate the reviews. And we got a review. Okay. We got a review I would love to read.
Let's do it.
It comes to us from our friend TRJVBP. Okay. It's almost like a eye chart at the eye doctors, that name. But I love the review. 5 stars titled Love Them. I love love.
I love love.
I love love. They're coming. They're coming back.
Oh my gosh, my favorite girls.
They write, Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Love it. Love it. Solid beginning.
I never call my husband either. Keep up the good work, guys.
I love it.
And yeah,
Right?
if you haven't been listening to the podcast, you're probably just thinking, "Wow, what a savage review." That's a cold person leaving a review. But the thing is, we don't call our spouses either because it's alarming. It's a little
Yes.
aggressive to call your spouse.
But I hope that you understand that the times I call you, it's usually like, oh, I'm driving to the store and I want to ask you something. I don't have time to type and I'm probably going to forget by the time I get there. So I call you from the car.
It happens very rarely.
Very rarely.
But she calls me to double check, do we need 10 cucumbers because they're on sale? And I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah, because for some reason, I never have reception in supermarkets in Florida. I don't know why. Otherwise, it's great. But the second I enter Publix and I go, like I get lost in between the aisles and I'm trying to text John, it's just not going through.
Let me give you a little tip, and this has nothing to do with the podcast. Should probably tell you afterwards, but I'll forget. When I go to Publix, I have to turn my Wi-Fi off because I think the Publix is so close to our house
Oh, you think so?
that it's almost like trying to connect to Wi-Fi. And so as soon as I turn the Wi-Fi off, I'm golden.
Interesting.
And that's a tip for all you guys, whether you shop at Publix or Aldi or Stop and Shop. If you're having trouble with service, turn the Wi-Fi off because it might be trying to pull from some other Wi-Fi source. And
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because that's why I usually call you, because I can call, but the text messages are not going through for whatever reason. But you're right, maybe because
It's
it's
trying to
on
connect.
Wi-Fi and it's just trying to smart.
Yeah.
Look at my husband.
There we
so
go.
smart.
Well, okay. Thank you, TRJVP. 2020 vision. Great 2022 review.
Love it.
Love it. Thank you. And if you haven't left a review, please do. Seriously, guys, it really makes our day, our week, and it helps the podcast.
100%.
Okay. Before we get into the episode, and I can't wait to get into this episode because there's so much to talk about.
I was literally talking to John about this because I had so much to say, and he's like, shh, stop it, save it for a pod.
I feel like I have to do that.
I didn't really release any information, and I have so much I'm holding in,
Hold
so
it
I'm
in.
so excited.
Bite your tongue. We're going to get there in a second. We're going to get there in a second. Hold it in, actually, like one of my first by the ways.
Ooh, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you ready for a little by the way?
Always.
Okay, hold it in. Don't let it out. By the way, number 1. This is the news story heard round the world, smell round the world. It made it to the New York Post. It made it to Bill Maher.
It made it to the Rolling Stones.
The band?
The magazine.
Oh, that's Rolling Stone.
Oh.
I was like, Mick Jagger? Did he write a song about this? Okay. Stephanie, a.k.a. Stepanka, has retired from the gas game after a fart attack.
I mean, did she really? I saw something today on social media that she might be doing some other things.
I think what she's doing, and I haven't done enough research into this, so maybe this will be a future, by the way, but something with NFTs.
Yeah, what's an NFT?
Oh,
Tell us.
I don't. It's non-fungible token, non-fartable token.
So
I don't know.
that's what I read too, but I don't fully understand.
I don't either. That's why it's not a by the way right now. Okay, Teresa, give me some time. This is the by the way. After she made, apparently, $200,000 selling her farts.
I mean, what are we doing podcasting?
I know.
That would be, honestly, that would cross every single line imaginable in my life.
Okay.
So
she apparently made $200K. She passed one too many and ended up being rushed to the hospital with chest pains that she feared was a heart attack. Okay.
I don't even know what to say.
You don't have to say anything. Let me continue. After a bunch of tests, including blood work, EKGs, the whole thing, it was determined her pain was a result of her steady gas-inducing diet. She was eating too many beans, too many eggs, too many protein shakes, and that's what caused these chest pains.
Is this how you get gas?
I mean, listen, we don't have to share how many times we could fill a jar in a week, but I imagine...
Barely ever.
Barely. I've never filled a jar, actually. But
Me neither.
she was squeezing out up to 50 farts a week.
I don't even know what to say. It's like, what's the accurate amount of farts?
I don't know.
Not the accurate, the acceptable.
I mean...
That you don't end up in the ER.
To put into jars, 0. But the demand was so high, she was having to squeeze out up to 50 a week. And so she was saying, I need more gas-inducing foods. Normally people take things to mitigate their gas. You get a Gas X, you get a Beano or something. She was trying to get more gas, so she had this crazy diet that put her in the hospital.
Who are the pervs who buy these?
Oh, how
no,
dare
seriously.
you. How dare you? I don't know if I guess it is perverted. I don't know. And what do you do with it? I think that's my question. Do you smell it? Do you save it? Do you put it on the shelf? Do you re-gift it? What are you doing?
Does it actually stay in the jar? So like if you do open it, do you smell it?
I can't imagine. I don't know.
Either
way, she goes to the hospital. Doctor tells her, you got to change your diet. You got to start taking Gas X. And this effectively put an end to her butt business.
Well, she said some people are reselling her jars for way more money, so she might get on that train.
There's a secondary market for her farts. Well, now, too, they're limited, right? She stopped producing them, so they're probably even more expensive. It's a lot.
It is a lot. It's a lot to digest, and
no pun intended.
Not pun intended, but I wish she wasn't Czech, because guys, Czech people don't fart in jars. I'll tell you that.
I know one who does.
Well, she does, and that's why I'm a little concerned. There is finally one person from the Czech Republic on the 90-day fiancé, and good for her. She makes all this money. I mean, YOLO, but
it's not the best image.
I don't know what to say.
She's out of the game now, okay? So you can feel better about it. She's done.
I'm pretty sure she's going to come up with something else. I don't know. Maybe she's going to paint with her boobs. Like the hippo I told you about. They paint
we talked about it on the podcast.
Paint his mouth, and he on the canvas, she might do that.
I don't want to put her down because she's an entrepreneur, or I think she calls herself a fartrepreneur, but she's banking. She's making money, and it's good for her.
What I just said is actually a great idea.
To paint with your boobs?
Yes, because she has big boobs.
Oh.
And I'm sure that at least people would get something instead of nothing in a jar.
Okay. Maybe we could put that on our merch shop. You're looking very pleased with your idea.
Yeah, I don't have the boobs for it, but...
instead of finger painting, nipple painting.
Yeah, that's not for me, but...
I'll try. I'll take one for the team.
If you're listening, give us a call. We'll take 50%.
Okay. All right, that's by the way number 1. By the way, number 2, keeping in line with occupations and money-making endeavors. If you've ever listened to this podcast, you know Teresa and I were fascinated by people's jobs on 90 Day Fiancé.
Always.
Regardless of what they did before the show, they almost all end up on OnlyFans or Cameo, though.
That's the thing, yeah. I almost feel like some people go on 90 days so they can go on OnlyFans afterwards.
I think you're right. That's the career path.
That's the money. Like you get exposed a little bit, and then your personality or who you are, if you get crazy on the show, is slightly ruined. If you want to go for a corporate job, that's not going to happen. But there is a way to make money, and apparently it's a decent market.
Well, here we go. We were always intrigued about Cameo and how much people charge and how much people can make. And it's a good way to tell how famous people think they are. Like if someone's charging $500 for a Cameo, that person thinks they're kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, according to cheatsheet.com, an ex-employee of Cameo has come out and revealed the numbers behind some of the 90-day cast's income.
Interesting.
Okay? So let's take this with a grain of salt. Nothing is verified. But this person has given us the Cameo incomes of the following 90 days. Darcy.
Okay.
Tom. Jovi. Yara. Big Ed. Okay? I've got all the info. I got all of the numbers here. Do you want to take a guess out of those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Who has made the most?
Darcy.
What? Yep. I probably would have guessed the same.
Okay. So then I'm going to say, and I hate to say it, Big Ed.
Yeah. The self-proclaimed king of Cameo.
I don't understand how, but I don't understand who buys it, but I guess people do.
Well, he goes nuts. He puts on his Elvis costume or his chicken costume.
How much has he made so far?
Okay, that's the question. Let me tell you how much he charges. $69.
Okay.
Perverted number, my favorite number, but $69. This is his all-time earnings on Cameo, okay? So over the past couple years. Do you want to take a stab?
I'm going to say 150.
150,000? Try again.
250?
Try again.
$500,000?
$634,000.
Get out.
After paying Cameo their share. Apparently
so this is what he cashed.
What he cashed out.
Wow.
Ridiculous, right?
Why does he still live in that tiny apartment? I mean, tiny house with his mom. Just get a bigger place.
I know. Well, maybe he's investing. We don't know. So that's Big Ed. Next up.
Darcy.
In 2021, she made.
$500,000.
No.
400?
No.
350?
152,000.
What?
Yeah.
Just Darcy?
Yeah. I mean, pretty good. I don't think I can make that much money wasted drunk.
True, but if Ed made 600,000,
and here's the thing, that's of all time. So that's over the past couple of years. I don't know how much it was this past year, but Darcy made 152 this past year.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, that's not bad.
She charges.
That's their pocket money.
She charges $100 though.
Wow.
So she's charging quite a bit more than Ed.
But I feel like she can.
Oh,
not that
yeah.
I want to buy, and I know you got it for me
She's
once.
the only
but
Cameo we've ever gotten.
yeah.
And well,
That's not true.
On this list, I should say.
Yeah.
And completely worth it.
Oh, no, that was amazing.
So worth it. Okay, let me just give you the others. Tom charges $10. What a deal. He's made all time $19,000.
That's it?
That's it.
And
He's
is he the
charging
third
$10.
one? Is he the third?
No. Oh, yeah. On this list, he is.
Yeah.
He's charging $10.
I was going to guess. $10, that's not, but I feel like he's trying to do it's cheaper, I'll get more, I'll make more. But
Right.
$10, did you say 10 or 20?
10.
That's very low. I think $25 is like the low one that people are like, oh shit, that's cheap, but in the same time, he can still make some.
I would agree with you. I think 10 almost makes it seem like, I'm not going to get anything good
Yeah, I
from
feel
this.
like $10, people are about to say, oh, happy birthday, Teresa.
Right.
Have a good one. Bye.
Right. No salsa dancing.
Yeah.
No weird faces.
Yeah, I think he's too low.
Yeah, I think so too. You can bump that up, Tom. Okay. Jovi and Yara are the other two that were leaked. They both charge $55 and they're pretty neck and neck. And it's surprisingly low, I would say. And again, take it with a grain of salt. This has not been verified. Jovi, $8,300.
Oh,
$8,300.
okay.
Yara, $8,900. Kind of low, but again, they've only really been around for a year.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're newbies. Their season started a year ago or so.
I think, yeah.
And like February, March. I don't remember exactly, but yeah.
So
Or maybe more than a year ago. I freaking don't know. There's so much to watch, but compared to Darcy and Tom and
it's not a lot.
even like Big Ed's been around for a while.
Yeah. Not a lot. Surprisingly low.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's my by the ways. Couple interesting by the ways. I thought we are always interested in the numbers.
Oh, for sure.
So I thought that was good. And we'll see what Stepanka's up to next. Hopefully it's not so disgusting.
I was gonna say maybe you know why they're so low? Because they're very normal. Like they don't have anything that's like crazy, like Big Ed does all the crazy stuff.
Right.
Tom maybe salsa dances.
Darcy gets wasted.
Darcy's Darcy, right?
Darcy went on for like 5 minutes in our cameo.
Oh my gosh, it was great.
It's worth every penny.
Even like Angela, I'm sure she would go and do something crazy, right?
It should probably flash you.
Yeah, probably. So I feel like I would probably, let's say if I wanted to get you a cameo, I would probably try to go for someone who's going to be a little crazier or like Ziad with his accent, right?
You want your bang for your buck.
Exactly. And I feel like Yara's just so nice and Jovi's nice too, relatively, I guess.
Right.
There is nothing, they don't do anything crazy. They're not going to do anything wild. So that's why I feel like they don't do too well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think you've given a lot of good advice. Jovi and Yara, get wild. And Tom, bump up your prices.
You're welcome.
Okay. That's by the way. Let's do this thing. Let's talk about Sunday night, 90 Day Fiancé. Before the 90 days, I'm adding an exclamation point to this.
For sure.
This was an episode. This, start to finish, was so engaged. Thing flew by. I was like, wait, that was it? It's over now? Love
I
it.
agree.
Love all the couples.
I agree.
Love all the couples. They're all bringing it now. Even the ones we kind of thought were the sleepers, I'm now enjoying watching. And we start with that couple.
I feel like the couple they always start with is going to be wild. Don't you feel that way?
Yeah, I think if we open with the couple, there is probably going to be a lot of screen time for them that episode. And a lot of screen time usually means a lot of drama.
Oh, yeah. So let's do this. We will start with Memphis and Hamza.
And we pick up where we left off. Memphis and Hamza just got busted by Hamza's mom, Hyatt. And Mother Hyatt's in disbelief. What do you think this is? A Motel 6? A Red Roof? And this is a Hyatt. You don't behave like that in a Hyatt.
Yeah. And Memphis and Hamza, they're making the bed. I was thinking that, oh my gosh, like go after mom, talk to her. Don't be still in the bed.
I know.
And make the bed and...
It's almost like they're trying to avoid the situation. Like, well, let's just hang out in here for a minute and decide our plan of attack.
And mom is not happy. She warned Hamza, no sex before marriage, but maybe Memphis insisted. Only God knows what happened.
Yeah, only God. Just because Memphis was yelling out, oh God, while they were having sex, doesn't mean God knows anything. Let's be very clear about that. I didn't like how Hyatt was kind of putting the blame on Memphis, right? Saying, oh, maybe she imposed, maybe she insisted on the sexy time. She's not the one who got up in the middle of the night and crept into the other room.
True, but to be honest, Memphis kept telling him, like, we need to do sexy time. I know she said, let's just get a hotel or something, right?
Yeah.
But their English is not good. They don't communicate well. So Hamza probably heard sexy time, need sexy time. So he got up and went for it.
I know, but still, Hyatt, assess the situation, realize that your son did get up and go in there, and put some blame where the blame belongs.
No, blame both of them.
Right, it takes two to tango.
Yes, but Memphis is not innocent. If Memphis was innocent, she wouldn't be saying, Hamza, we need to have sexy time before we get married. No sexy time, no marriage. Sexy time is very important. Sexy time, sexy time, sexy time.
I mean,
it's like she's like the new Stepanka. Stepanka keeps saying celibacy, celibacy.
Right, the opposite.
Memphis is like sexy time, sexy time.
I mean, in her defense, it's the only words that Hamza understands.
True. Anything with sexy.
It's kind of like Mike, te amo, right? When you only know two words, you just happen to say those two words.
Not to mix up our shows, but I almost feel like if Natalie only knew two words, she would probably be already dating someone or having kids.
She'd be pregnant right now. You're so right. So Memphis and Hamza, they're trying to talk about what just happened. Hamza has zero idea what Memphis is saying. And
you can see his face. He's just like, sure, baby. Sure, baby.
Zero idea what's going on. Like, they would have been better off with that Tamagotchi that Mike had, because there is zero understanding here. And Memphis is telling us, well, Hamza snuck into the bedroom last night and I couldn't say no. So the fault is on both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be clear there. Fault's on both of them. And now Memphis is scared this could ruin things between her and Hyatt. She might have to do an early checkout.
Well, she also told us that it was very quick, and she was like, yeah, it was bad.
Ooh.
Which is like, give him a break. He sneaked into her room in his mom's apartment while mom said, don't do it. He probably haven't seen boobs like this in a long time.
Big boobies.
Just give him a break.
I actually think, though, if you do have Hyatt on the mind and you are nervous about getting caught, you're going to last longer. So I think this doesn't bode well for his stamina. I think the more nervous you are, the less you can enjoy it, and therefore the longer you're going to last. So as quick as he was, I think he may be even quicker if they had a hotel room.
Maybe. Who knows? They did it. Memphis wasn't happy. And I feel like with all her issues, the fact that she put so much pressure on sex, obviously it's important. When you have a partner, you have to have a good sex life, but there is way more beyond sex, right? Mm-hmm. So the fact that she's making this the priority, that says a lot about her. Of course it's important. It's important. I'm not gonna lie. But it's not the most important thing. And she makes it sound like it. And it's like, maybe that's why you can't find anyone, because you're focusing on the wrong things.
Right. I know it is a accelerated timeline here. We're talking honeymoon the second or third week.
Third.
But banging doesn't have to be night one. Maybe talking to each other as much as you can, even though there's that language barrier, getting to know each other, cuddling. That could be night one.
Yeah.
And then get to the banging.
And that's what basically Memphis is telling Hamza to go and tell mom that they cuddled.
Yeah. Don't tell your mom we had sex. Just say we laid and cuddled, which I'm also going to take issue with here, because don't tell someone how to talk to their parent.
True. Also, like, don't tell your mom anything.
Well, but she saw them in the bedroom.
Yeah.
There is an easy explanation. Oh, yeah. I woke up. It was clearly morning. Hyatt was up. The sun was out, it seemed like. It was clearly morning. He could just say, yeah, I went in there to check on her and just laid down to cuddle.
Well, not everyone is such a good liar like you. You just whipped it out on the spot.
Well, no, I mean, that's what it looked like. She didn't walk in on them mid-sex act.
True.
Right?
True.
So in Hyatt's eyes, that's all it was, oh, they're in the room together.
True.
So he could easily just say, no, I just went in to check on her, being a good host. Nothing happened.
Right. Well, so Hamza goes to talk to mom, right? And he's like, Mom, what are you doing? And mom looks at him. He's like, just sitting.
Okay. I don't want to shade
I like died laughing. I'm like, this is a great conversation.
I need to be sitting for this conversation, so I'm sitting, Hamza. But I don't want to shade anyone. I will say their apartment looks very nice.
It does.
Did you see the chairs she was just sitting in, though?
Those are the like a plastic balcony chairs.
They were like patio chairs.
My grandma has them. I'm like,
Inside?
no,
Exactly.
on the balcony.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of outdoor furniture indoors on 90 Day Fiancé.
True. That's very true.
Or indoor furniture outdoors, right? The furniture doesn't belong where it's supposed to belong. You got Caleb in a leather recliner outside around a bonfire pit. You got Ron and Betty with some upholstered couch on the porch. And then you got Hyatt with patio chairs inside.
People need help.
They need interior decorators on this show. So they go to talk and Hyatt's like, why didn't you sleep on the couch? And he goes, the woman traveled a long way. The woman has a name, Hamza.
Maybe this is the way they communicate. Like you can't really judge that.
Oh, they don't use names?
I guess they do, but
They don't use names
I would
in
like
Tunisia?
to say, if my mom was asking something about you, I would be like, yeah, he did this and that.
You might say he.
Yeah.
You wouldn't say the man. Right?
The man, the
woman.
legend.
It's like when Johnny and his friends talk about Ella, my American girlfriend. She has a name.
I mean, people are afraid of the names, I guess. Who knows?
So the woman traveled a long way and she wanted to sleep next to me.
Which I don't think there is anything wrong like sleeping next to each other. But hey, mom here, look at this dirty mom, because she's like, so how is it that a man sleeps aside of a woman and nothing happens? I don't understand.
Right,
and I'm like,
right.
wow, Hyatt.
Okay.
You are a one wild hotel.
Yeah, you slept next to each other and nothing just slipped in? Not even accidentally? No? Impossible.
Wow.
But Hamza sticks to the script, says nothing happened, but Hyatt won't have it. She knows it's all a lie. So Memphis comes in and is like, you happy? Mother happy? And Hyatt pretends everything is fine.
She like whipped out the biggest smile. She's like, I'm happy.
Yeah. And good for Hyatt, I guess, because it's probably not the time or the place to just lose your shit, even though you may want to. Like, let's get some facts. Let me talk to my son, and then we can move forward. So I like Hyatt. I'm Team Hyatt.
I'm just so curious why she's so on board with this whole Hamza going to America thing. They seem to have a nice place of living. I'm sure Hamza can find a job. It's not like they can't do anything. They live in outdoors somewhere. They're squatting, right? No, like they seem to have a nice life.
Sure.
She said she worked hard because she's a single mom. That's great for her. But why is she just not trying to ship him off, but she's very okay with it. And we've never seen it. Usually these Arab moms or parents do not like the Americans.
Well, we know Hyatt's been through some shit. We know she got divorced, and that now has made it super hard for her to find work. So the plan is Hamza goes to the States, gets a good job, and kicks some money back to Hyatt. So I think that. But I'm with you. Like, their living situation seems good. They seem to all get along.
Yeah.
So who knows? But I think it comes down to more money in America, send it back to Tunisia.
Yeah, possibly.
So we cut to Memphis and Hamza. They're walking around town. Just going to shout out, at least Memphis is dressed appropriately. She's fully covered. No big boobies out, right? No legs showing. Respect here, which is not something we always see in these situations.
Yeah, Brittany. Was it Brittany who wasn't?
Brittany was...
No, I think Brittany was pretty good. Nicole had the issue to follow the rules.
Yeah.
And I think Ziad and Rebecca, I think there was the one time that she wore like a deep...
At the bar.
Deep neck. And Ziad didn't like it. But most of the time, the same thing. Like, she covered herself.
Okay.
It was Nicole who just did not understand.
She didn't care at all. No. So they're walking around a Medina, a market, and Memphis is doing, speaking of Rebecca, the same thing that Rebecca does time and time again, which is the baby talk. Oh, me likey, me get exercise, me not get fat. And it's like, if you want the guy to learn English, speak English to him.
I was going to say, like, you have to talk in full sentences. Otherwise, they will listen to you. And if he's not dumb, he's going to pick things up. But he's going to pick them up in the wrong way.
Right.
He's going to then be talking like, me like you, instead of like, oh, I like you.
Right. You can just say, I like this. I want to get exercise. Like, why is that better than baby talk? Or why is that harder than baby talking? Me get exercise, me not get fat.
I don't know. Maybe she thinks it's hard and this way he will understand, but just slow down. And obviously don't use fancy words like, I don't know. I cannot think of a fancy word, but I know a lot of them.
You sure do.
Because I read.
You surprise me once in a while.
Yeah, I read. But yeah, don't use big fancy words, of course, but just talk slowly and articulate and he'll get it.
Right. And that's coming from a English as a second language, right?
Well, you
here.
never talk to me like I'm a freaking baby.
Well,
also, when you met me, I could speak English pretty well, so.
Right. The only time I talk to you like a baby is like Gino and Jasmine baby talk.
No, we don't do that. Please don't even give anyone the idea because we don't do that.
We do not.
No.
Okay. So they're in this market. Memphis is liking it, but she really wants to talk about Hamza's performance last night. She wants to review. Okay.
Performance. I was laughing because we love The Office. We keep rewatching The Office like crazy people. We just watched the performance reviews last night.
You were adequate, Angela. Thank you.
It was Dwight.
No.
When he walked into the office when Jen was there with Michael and Dwight was like, okay, I'm ready for my performance review. And he's like, you were adequate. And Jen was like, is this how you do all your performance reviews?
Right. Angela was like, oh, I love being judged. I think I hold up to even the most difficult scrutiny or something. Yeah. Okay. So Memphis wants to go over the performance, go point by point, plot it out. What went wrong? What went right? And she was in a relationship with a man she didn't have sexual chemistry with before. So she's like, I never want that to happen again.
But they also broke up. So there were other issues. I feel like...
Who knows? Maybe that's the big enough issue for her.
I guess. It seems like it because that's her priority. She's not asking him any other tough questions or questions about his life that I would want to know.
I want to know so many things.
I know, but so far it's all about the sexy time.
So they get to a cafe, they sit down to talk, and Memphis, just no baby talk here. So sex last night, pretty fast. And Hamza, no idea what's going on, goes, I'm happy.
She's like, is it always fast? Sexy time, is it always fast? And Hamza is like, no, I'm a sexy baby. I'm sexy.
I think now we know why he's got a picture of himself as his wall. He thinks he's so sexy. I'm so sexy. That's why I'm going to use myself as my phone wallpaper.
He loves himself.
Yeah. So Memphis is like, no, Hamza, here comes a big word. You ejaculate fast.
Well, it's almost like an international word.
Let's learn ejaculate in Czech.
I was going to say it's very similar, but now I'm not sure, so I don't want to say it.
Oh, boy. Okay, don't say it then.
I was very young when I left the Czech Republic. I was 20.
Say it, don't spray it.
Oh, my gosh, you did not say that.
I want the news, not the weather. O-Town.
Oh, my gosh. Moving on.
O-Town. Okay, so she's like, yeah, you ejaculate fast, but because you haven't had sex in a long time.
Ejakulacje.
Oh, that's ejaculate?
I'm pretty sure that means ejaculating.
Okay.
Ejakulacje. I think so.
All right.
Sounds about right.
I want to look it up, but I also don't want that in my search history.
If there are any Czechs listening, let me know. Because I think I'm right, but I'm not that sure.
Okay. Slide into our DMs. Let us know. So Memphis is like, you haven't had sex in a long time. That's the issue. And I'm thinking he's never had sex.
That's what I thought. I thought he was a virgin.
Right. I thought he was celibate.
Oh, yeah. Like our friend, fart friend Stepanka.
But no, Hamza says it's been 8 months since he hasn't had sex.
I think 8 months is the amount of time they've been talking.
Which, respect to that, if as soon as they started talking, he stopped sleeping with other women, that's nice.
Well, he said he only banged 5 women, including Memphis. But
what do you mean only?
Not only, but I felt like guys just bang.
I know, but I thought it was no sex till marriage. So I thought 0 women.
Yeah, that's what I thought first too. But then I was like, if he did bang someone, he either is banking like a rabbit or he isn't.
Oh,
Right?
see, I thought he did it once. It was like, whoops, shouldn't have done that and learned his lesson.
Well, maybe he did it once, but he's just lying about the numbers. Maybe
Well,
he
that's
just
true.
did it.
Guys, I think, always multiply their numbers.
Oh, do
and
they?
women always divide their numbers.
Oh, interesting.
That's the old saying.
Interesting.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
Well, we have some couple of friends who love sharing their numbers and they're out of control.
Through the roof.
I literally cannot believe it, but I do believe it, and it's just disturbing. But anyways, yes, I think he maybe just exaggerated a bit, but not to skip ahead. But in the previews for the next episode, we saw there is some drama about his age. He portrays himself to be 28 on the show. And I think that's not true. His sister's gonna come clean, and Memphis is like losing her shit. I think he's way younger. Because if he was older, it wouldn't be a big deal. Memphis is 35. If he was saying he's 28 and he's 33, not a biggie. He's definitely not older than Memphis. Like,
Sure.
Right? I think he's younger. I think he's like 22 or 23.
Does
and
he
this
look
was
that young?
He does. If you look at him, he looks young.
Okay.
And I think that was his first bang.
Oh my gosh. I love this.
Listen,
I love this.
I'm speculating. I really don't think, because if he's lying and he's a little older, but not older than Memphis, I don't think it would be a big deal. I would maybe be pissed for him lying to me, but I wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, that's a deal breaker. However, if you're 35 and you think you're doing something with a 28-year-old that turns out to be someone who's just 21 or 22,
Yeah.
that's a big deal.
Yeah. And to that point about him maybe lying about his numbers, Hamza says Memphis is the only girl he's had sexy time with at his mom's house. And so you're right. He's admitting to her being the only one at mom's. So where were these other bangs? Sure, they could have been elsewhere, but it's almost like, well, I don't want to get caught in too much of a lie. So I said 5, but okay, you're right. You're the only girl I had sex with.
5, including Memphis, so 4.
5 for 5. 5. you buy 5, you bang 5. 5
Well,
for 5.
I'm very curious to see what that big is, because it was something with his age. And I'm pretty sure the story is going to be that he was lying about his age.
Something's going on.
Something's going on, and I'm here for it.
Yeah. Okay. So Hamza says, my mom is mad, but it's okay. And Memphis is like, it's not okay. I want your mom to like me. And if that was true, Memphis, why did you bang her son in her house?
It takes 2 to bang.
Takes 2 to tango. So, okay, let's cut to Memphis back at Hamza's house. She's in the kitchen with Hyatt. Hyatt's teaching Memphis how to scale a fish.
How to clean the fish. You have to remove the intestines.
Ooh.
We do this with our carbs for Christmas. Fun fact, my mom doesn't know how to do it. She's too grossed out. She's never done it. I've always done it with my dad.
You are good at that stuff.
Well, that's why I am, because growing up, I was the one helping my dad in the kitchen clean all the meat and remove testicles.
What? Excuse me? Hello? Wait, what?
No, intestines.
Oh my gosh.
Remove intestines.
Woo.
Not testicles, intestines from the fish. So I know what the inside of a fish look like. I know how to clean it, right? My mom has never touched it. She cooks, but she doesn't clean that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm fine with it now.
I think it's good. You got to start young. I was never introduced to that sort of thing as a child, so now it kind of grosses me out.
John's get grossed out by chicken.
Not chicken, just the white, I don't know if it's fat or tendons or muscle or whatever.
It's the muscle that you have to cut off because it gets chewy.
I'm a little grossed up by that. But Memphis is too. I mean, she's making all these strange noises, groaning, gagging.
That literally sounds like she's having the best sex of her life.
Yeah.
While cleaning the fish.
Right. She needed to get it out. She wasn't satisfied the night before, so now she's letting it all out. Sounds like an Herbal Essence commercial with Dr. Ruth.
I don't know what that is.
You don't? Nah. Save it for another day.
I'm a foreigner.
Yeah, well, so is Dr. Ruth. But I'll give her credit. She's getting in there and she's doing it and she's trying to make a good first impression.
100%. I was impressed that even though she was making the sounds and didn't understand Hyatt at all, she was doing it. So good for you, Memphis.
Yeah, points for you. So they sit down to eat. Hamza's impressed with the food, even though Memphis is struggling and Hyatt's not too impressed with her performance. Hamza is. And so they're sitting eating. Hyatt brings up the sleeping situation once again, saying, tonight, Hamza, you better sleep on the couch. And Hamza's like, relax, Mom. Relax.
Because he's mommy's little boy.
Yeah, but hey, if you're living under Mom's roof, you should play by her rules.
No, totally.
So Memphis is like, it's okay. We can do that. The sex wasn't that good in the first place. I'm not rushing back to banging this guy anyway.
We have a week.
Yeah. So then Hyatt brings up Memphis's past. She wants to know why she was divorced twice.
Which is not true. She was divorced once, and the other child she just had.
Right.
Unmarried.
Right. So Hyatt naturally is worried, saying, well, maybe that's going to happen with Hamza, and I don't want Hamza to get divorced. And Memphis goes, well, it wasn't just my call to get divorced. I'm a good woman, and it's up to Hamza if he comes to America to be a good man, and then we won't have any issues.
That's true. I mean, it's always on both.
Sure. Again, takes two.
Takes two to make the marriage work. Takes one to ruin it.
That's also very true. So Hyatt starts getting very emotional, and it was making me emotional. I do have a soft spot for Hyatt.
Yeah.
And she said, I had to raise the kids by myself, and it was difficult, and it scares me. I want a woman to be there for Hamza. I don't want him to have to go through what I went through being alone.
Listen, I think your parents are that way. My parents are this way too. If they didn't like you or your parents didn't like me, they would have told us.
Oh, yeah.
My dad would have said something.
My parents sort of alluded to the fact that they didn't love my ex, but it wasn't until I broke up with them.
Your mom just told me.
Right. But it wasn't until I broke up with her that they were like, yeah, we don't like her. They want you to live your life. They want you to make decisions. They don't want to put that much influence on you.
But my dad was always very open. And not that I dated or was bringing guys home, but there was this one time I was visiting Czech. It was before I met you. I have a really good friend. Now he's married with a kid. But we were just friends. So he came to visit and we all went out, including my dad and a bunch of other people. And we got like wasted. And we're like dancing. And I was dancing so hard that I fell on a spilled beer. And so like this guy picked me up. And then my dad was like, no. And I'm like, what no? He's like, he's not good for you. And I'm like, we're friends. My dad goes like, you maybe are his friend or you see him as a friend. He sees you as something more and he's not good for you. I'm like, Dad, he lives in Czech. I live in the US. My dad goes like, wait, it doesn't matter. I just don't see this. Just keep it in mind that this is how he looks at you. And I don't like this, right? So my dad's always been very honest. I only had one high school boyfriend, very honest. My dad wasn't the biggest fan, but my dad loves you.
Well, I'm glad. I love your dad. And I think maybe it's a little different as a woman. Like maybe your dad feels like, oh, I need to protect her.
Oh, my mom never been that way. My mom is a very open-minded person, loves you too, but never said anything bad about anyone else, right?
Yeah, I think it might be that fatherly instinct to protect.
Yeah.
He sees, oh, this person's not good for you. Let me tell my daughter so she can make a informed decision. And also, you guys weren't together. So it's not like he was breaking you up.
No, he wasn't. But he was he was just there. And I told you, you're the first guy I actually brought home. My parents met my high school boyfriend because my mom was his teacher. So they knew him, but you're the only one, right? But I'm telling you, like my dad just saw something. He's like, no, absolutely fucking not.
All right. Okay, let's move on.
Let's move on.
Let's talk about Caleb and Alina. Because this got a little steamy. Okay, it's the morning.
Steamy.
It's morning in Turkey. It's the night after Caleb and Alina shared their first makeout sesh. And of course, Caleb is shirtless.
Classic.
When isn't he? And there's some more smooching, and it looks like they're finally getting comfortable with each other.
Yes, but they did not bang.
They didn't bang just yet.
They were making out, and Caleb said they got into a new level of intimacy, which is true. They went from shaking hands to making out.
From that half handshake to a full makeout.
And Alina was like, oh, did you enjoy dinner? And he's like, yeah, once Elijah left.
Yeah. And hey, no Elijah this episode.
I love Elijah.
I know you're bummed about it. But good.
No.
Give these two some privacy, although
Sure.
they didn't get it because they went and saw Maria. These two can't be alone, at least not yet. But no Elijah. We got Maria this episode. But they both have some sex eyes for each other. I think you can see there is attraction there, the way they look at each other. Now you can see, okay, they're looking at each other as more than just friends, as more than just pen pals, and something real could come of this.
Well, I think Alina is looking that way at Caleb, and Caleb's trying because, as he said himself, he's still trying to wrap his mind around Alina because she's different than the other girls he had sex with, right? He has to like crouch because she's small, which is like, dude, like, don't say things like that.
Crouching Tiger, hidden agenda, which is for him to be on television. But yeah, and Alina wanted more, and that's kind of what is making her question things, even though it's only like day 2. She's like, I wanted a more romantic kiss. I don't know why he pumped the brakes. I don't know why we're not banging.
Well, she said the kiss was very passionate and she didn't expect it from Caleb.
No, I thought, right, but she still imagined more. She didn't know why it stopped at just a kiss.
And Caleb said it's because Alina's different than what he's used to and he's just trying to get there. And he almost said that he was turned on, but then he started thinking about all this and there was a block.
Right. He almost was turned on and then turned off. Turned on, turned off. He was like, there's the difference in us, and that kind of takes me out of the moment, and it's hard to get back into the moment.
He literally said there is the difference in sizes.
Right. Which, listen, that's a fact. So I don't really think there's anything wrong with him saying that.
No.
That's a fact.
It is a fact. And he is getting there. You know, they're making out, they hold hands, they do all that. So I get it. It's an adjustment. It's something new. And bottom line is that they've only been together for 2 days.
Right.
You don't have to bang someone on the second day.
No, unless you're Hamza in Memphis.
True.
Yeah, my question is, we saw them kissing. It looked legit. It looked passionate. How soon after the cameras left did the kissing stop? Right? Was he just putting on a show?
Yeah.
Or once the cameras left, did it get even juicier?
Well, that's a good question.
Because that's a real tell of now that we're truly alone, what's happening when the cameras are gone. And we don't know, of course.
Yeah, we don't know.
So cut to later in the day. Caleb is carrying Alina up the stairs to the gym.
He's carrying her the way I carry cats.
Just held out far from your body because you don't want anything to do with them?
Yes, 100%. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm not a cat person. I always try when I see a cat, I pick it up.
Yeah, but you
That's
pick it up
how
the wrong,
I pick it up.
You pick it up the wrong way.
Well, because I don't want them to scratch me.
I know, but they're going to scratch you when you hold them like that because they feel your nervous energy.
No, if you keep them far away from your body and their head away from you and the paws, nothing's going to happen.
You got some work to do, I think, when it comes to cats.
I think I'm good.
Okay. So they're at the gym. I don't know why. When we go on vacation, the last thing we think about is the gym. And we've been married for years. Like, here's two people who are trying to get to know each other. And I don't think she is interested in how much weight he can bench press. I think she's interested in getting to know him as a person. So what are we doing at the gym, folks?
Well, I think he's trying to show her his hobbies.
Why?
I don't know. I'm not justifying this. I'm just trying to figure out why.
I think he's just selfish and he's thinking, oh, I'm a bodybuilder now. I got to stay in shape. I got to keep my physique up. And I'm going to spend an hour or two in the gym that we could be spending getting to know each other over conversation, over coffee, whatnot.
Well, to be honest, I expected him to put her down and have her watch while he's working out. He was helping her out. He did her ponytail. He put her on the treadmill. She was doing some push-ups and he showed her how to work the dumbbells. Come on.
Oh, I expected him to put her in the backpack and start doing squats. I thought he was going to use her as resistance training.
Well, it seemed like they were bonding and Caleb loved it because it showed him that she cares about him because she did something that he enjoys, even though that's not what she does.
They've done nothing
go to the gym.
They've done nothing that she enjoys. I don't think, since they've been there.
True.
Except make out, I guess.
I'm sure she enjoys exploring the city.
Speaking of making out, I was getting PTSD watching them kiss at the gym because I think I told you the story of me at the gym last week with that couple.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Guys, I was at the gym. It's like 7 a.m, right? So I'm already miserable. I get there. There's this guy and this girl, I don't know, late 20s, early 30s, blasting music, first of all, on a Bluetooth speaker, which is a no-no. There's a sign that says you gotta wear headphones.
Yeah, plus the gym has music.
Right. And they weren't alone before I got there. There was still another 2 or 3 other people there before I got there. So it's not like, well, we were alone and I'm playing my music. No, they're blasting their music. And then to make it worse, I'm working out next to them. And when they finish their sets, they stand face to face with each other and start like smooching a little bit. Like this very slow, tender, almost tantric kissing.
Oh my gosh.
And then it's time to work out again. They do their set and then they go back and they're holding each other and just like touching each other's lips. I'm like, this is disgusting. Wrong time, wrong place. Why do I have to witness this? Plus you're playing a soundtrack to your own romantic comedy. I can't take it. And now I'm watching Caleb and Alina doing the same thing and it gave me PTSD.
Just to make it clear, we are affectionate people, Jen and I, towards each other. But not in public. We are not.
Right.
What is it? Public?
PDA?
We don't do PDA. When I see John at the gym, which never happens because we go at different times, but I'm like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah. People barely even know we know each other.
Well, I like that people know that we know each other.
We respect each other and we respect the other people in the gym.
Plus, the gym smells. Everyone's sweaty.
Why it's sweaty.
I'm
it's
sweaty.
Gross.
You're sweaty. Why would we want to make out being sweaty surrounded by other sweaty people?
And like between sets. It's not like, okay, maybe once or twice we gave each other little pecks if you were leaving to go up to the shower or something, or I was leaving. It's like, all right, bye. See you later. Yeah. They were doing this between each set. I'm getting PTSD from the PDA. I can't take it, Teresa.
Yeah. I went to the gym the other day and there were like 3 girls doing their thing with 3 strollers with freaking sleeping babies. And nothing, the babies didn't bother me, but that's not the way to be with a baby. Like,
yeah, but they were getting their workout in and the baby was sleeping. What's wrong with that?
It's like
as long as no one's making out with the baby, I'm fine with it.
No, but I'm saying it's an apartment gym. It's kind of small. It's not like a big gym, right? It's still like close air. People are sweating. I feel bad for the babies.
I'm not gonna. You feel bad for the babies being in a warm gym? In Czech, you leave them out on a sidewalk in 0-degree weather while you're in at a bar.
Because babies love cold.
No, babies love being next to their mother while their mother's on the treadmill getting it done. No, I have no problem. Good for the mothers who are like, you know what? I got to squeeze this in. I got to get to the gym. I got to work out. I got no one to watch my kid. I'll bring him to the gym with me. Who cares?
I guess I would probably do the same. I just felt there were like 3 sleeping babies at a sweaty gym.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of baby. That's a lot of baby.
I just feel like I am a little germaphobe. And for me, that was like a big no-no for a baby, especially nowadays.
No, for you, I think I'm with you on the point that our gym, it's an apartment gym, it's kind of small.
Yeah.
Like if there's 5 people working out at the same time, it's cramped. So to add 3 strollers, sure. It's a little inconsiderate.
Thank you.
But I'm supportive of the mom who's like, I'm going to get there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Get it done.
Get it done.
Okay. Let's get back to Caleb and Alina. Cut to later that day. Caleb and Alina, they're in a cab. They're going to meet up with Maria, Alina's friend, for dinner. And Elijah didn't get the invite, so burn.
Because things are still a little rocky.
Yeah. Things are still a little tense between Caleb and Elijah.
Let's do a quick outfits the segment. Caleb's checkerboard and Rose's shirt. Do we love it? Do we hate it?
Wow. Okay. Would I wear it? No. Is it better than Caleb's pants that he was wearing last episode? Yes.
What pants was he wearing?
Like the LuLaRoe. Oh. You called them like slalom ski pants.
Yeah.
This is better than that.
Honestly, it doesn't bother me on him because he's this whole like spitted, long hair kind of person.
Yeah.
If you put it on, I would be like, no.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
It was straight from Hot Topic. It was aggressive.
Oh, yeah, right?
It was very aggressive. But again,
It was fine on
worn
him.
worse.
It didn't bother me.
He's
okay.
worn worse. Okay. Is that it for outfits the segment?
Yes.
All right. So they get to Maria's apartment and we get the answer everyone's been waiting for. Maybe not. No one's been waiting
I
for
knew it.
Caleb or Caleb?
Of course he's Caleb. We heard his parents calling him Caleb.
No, I know. I just found it funny that finally Maria was like, okay, is it Caleb or Caleb? Because she says Caleb, no one else does.
Which I find interesting because Alina's English is good.
I know.
So I find interesting that she calls him Caleb and not Caleb because Caleb is an easy word to pronounce for anyone. You don't have any R's, you don't have any W's, you don't have any the harsh letters that I struggle with, right?
Yeah.
But Caleb, very easy, straight to the point.
She's making it her own. It's become a pet name.
Caleb.
Caleb.
I thought Caleb would have to be spelled like Khalad. Caleb.
I would do Kahlib. Caleb.
Okay.
Anyways, they sit down for dinner. It looked like they were drinking high C or something.
Right?
What was in that glass?
I was like, that's not wine.
Let's play a
and
game
if it
called
is,
What's in the Glass.
you're going to be in a sugar coma.
It looked terrible.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they're sitting there. Maria's asking about the history of the relationship. And Alina goes, well, we had this inside joke about me being a mail order bride. And Caleb said, well, you got to apply to be my mail order bride. So I took a video doing different things, talking about me, showing things. And thank God we saw this video.
And we learned that she was a model in Dubai, which I stalked her social media and I saw that.
Oh, she was? Or
Yeah, she
I thought
was.
maybe she was pretending because this video looked like a comedy sketch. It was like a sizzle reel of Alina.
No, she did some modeling in Dubai. When the show started, I went on her social media deep.
Yeah.
And she did some modeling in Dubai.
Okay. So we see this like sizzle reel of Alina. It's awesome. It's great. And Maria's like, okay, that's great. But are you ready for a future together? Like, where would you guys live?
Maria asking all the tough questions.
Maria asking the tough questions. It's a little too hot in the kitchen for Caleb because he thinks this is a little extreme. We need to spend some time getting to know each other. And while this is a great conversation, it's something the two of us should be talking
Which
about.
I agree with.
Completely agree. I get that Maria's curious and it's a good question, right? Where are you guys going to live if this progresses? But it's too soon.
Very too soon.
And it's something that you don't need to be a part of. You don't need to mediate this conversation, Maria.
Yeah.
Let them figure it out and they'll fill you in.
I almost feel like maybe Alina called her before and was like, hey, Maria, can you ask some of these questions? And I want to ask Caleb, but I don't want to come across as needy or rushed. Can you do it for me, girlfriend?
Yep. So Alina says, we'll talk about our future before we part, before this trip ends. Don't you worry about it. But Alina is a little concerned because judging by the way Caleb responded to Maria, she's worried maybe I won't get the answers I'm looking for.
Yes. And they started speaking Russian in front of Caleb without translating. Which
Rude.
it's silly to say without translating because they both speak English, so there was no need for translating. It was just purely rude.
It's happened to me. Teresa's done a very good job of straightening her friends out in the moment.
They were not my friends. At least they're not my friends.
It's a couple people you associated with in New York.
Yeah.
And we would hang out and they would speak Czech and you'd be like, guys, you speak English.
Yeah. And basically they were very rude saying, if he wants to hang out, he should learn Czech. Because I said, hey guys, let's speak English. John doesn't understand Czech. And he said, well, maybe if he wants to hang out, he should learn Czech. And that's so rude.
I don't want to be this guy because I'm not this guy, but you're in America.
No, you are in America. And not even that. You do speak English. Their English wasn't the best because they keep hanging out with the Czech community and don't really venture out, right?
Right.
Coolio. But they do speak some English.
Right.
So the fact that they refuse because they don't feel like it and you should learn Czech, so rude. I got so pissed.
And maybe they were a little self-conscious. Like, here's this American. I am embarrassed to use my English around him. But it's fun. Like when I go to Czech, I remember that first time I went to Czech, we were at dinner with your friends. We're doing shots. I'm flexing my Czech. And I know it's not good, but it's fun and it's appreciated by everyone there. So it goes both ways. I would appreciate, no matter how bad your English is, that you're trying and you're trying to include me. So yeah, this was so rude of Maria and Alina, but Alina knew and she made it right because they get in the cab. Caleb brings up the conversation they were having and he says, I don't want to rush those talks. I want to take things naturally. And he says, we need to get to know each other before we make any long-term plans. And that's when Alina's like, yep, you're right. And I apologize for speaking Russian.
Yes, good.
Good. So Caleb appreciates it, plants a nice smooch on Alina. And once again, you see there's attraction. There was that break, like the dam broke, for lack of a better term. After that first kiss, they kept kissing, which is a good sign. It's not like we kissed once. I don't know. It was weird. I didn't like it. No, they kissed once. They got it out of the way. And now they kind of can't keep their lips off each other.
Oh, yeah.
It's good. It's starting to look like a real couple. So they get to the hotel room. They continue making out.
Yeah, Alina is trying to unbutton his shirt.
And I love this because she's struggling like a guy trying to unlatch a bra. So welcome to our world, Alina. Right? Why is the clasp always in the back? Why not just always put it in the front?
I have some in the front.
I know, but a lot of times it's in the back. The old school bras and when I was on doing bras in 72, all the clasps were in the back, and it was very.
Did you lie to me about your age?
I'm 72, but I just like this. I was like, yeah, see, you're struggling to undress someone too, Alina. So Caleb kicks his shoes off, unties Alina's shoes, takes his shirt off. He couldn't wait to get that shirt off and gets back to work.
He threw her around like a hot potato.
He was ragdolling her.
You know the reference when someone said you throw it around like a hot potato because it's hot and you're trying to like juggle?
Oh, I get it. You don't have to explain English idioms to me, Teresa.
Well, we said in Czech too. Like přehazuješ si jako horkou bramboru.
Did you just say ejaculate? What did you just say?
Přehazuješ.
Okay.
Like you throw her around like a hot potato.
Yeah. So they're going after it. And Alina actually stops it and goes, does this feel kind of weird for you? And I think Caleb said, feels weird we haven't done this before.
He said something like that.
It was either
along
feels
those
weird,
lines.
It feels weird because we haven't done it before, or it feels weird that we haven't done it yet. Like, I can't believe it's taken so long.
Yeah. So, but he shut the lights down.
Alina says,
camera crew leaves.
Get the lights. It goes pitch black. And that's where it
I
ends.
hope he took her shoes off before because no one wants to do it in the dark.
That's very true.
I'm sure her shoes must be tied properly.
No, he took them off.
Oh, he did?
He
okay.
Took the boots off.
I saw working on it. I saw him working on the shoes.
It took a minute. That whole undressing took a minute. But
a long hot minute.
We'll find out what happens next time.
Ooh, I think they banged.
You do?
Mm-hmm. What do you think? I think it was too hot. It was too hot. And especially after the conversation that they didn't bang the night before.
Like too steamy, you're saying?
If he didn't want to go there, I feel like he would slow down. He would be like, oh, let's just cuddle.
Okay.
I think they went all the way, but we'll find out next week.
You say they went all the way. I'm going to say no.
Or maybe at least a BJ.
Whoa.
What?
Hello. What? Okay. Well, I think we need to take a break. I think I need to go wash Teresa's mouth out with soap. After all that ejaculation and BJ talk.
You're the one who keeps saying that.
Let me go wash your mouth out with soap. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Okay, we are back. And let's move on to a couple that we know banged it out. Savage style banging. Two wet animals banging. Gino and Jasmine.
Jasmine.
Gino and Jasmine. It's morning in Panama. Gino and Jasmine are getting ready to head out for the day. Toothbrushes are fired up.
Gino is showing Jasmine how to work her new toothbrush. Like, she's not an idiot.
That's the nicest thing you've said about Jasmine all season.
I mean, she kind of is, but I think she can work a toothbrush. Especially because we have those.
I know. Those are the exact ones.
Yeah, different colors.
Yeah. So... I don't know. They go through a whole toothbrush thing. Not that interesting. They leave the hotel, grab a car, and In the car, we learn that Gino is going to meet Jasmine's friend, Leo.
And Jasmine says it in a way like, I have a surprise for you, baby. You're going to meet my friend Leo. Like, oh, I hope you're thankful for the surprise. Why is it a surprise?
Well, Leo's a hairstylist. Mm-hmm. So I love that the first person this bald man is going to meet is a hairstylist.
You see, I didn't even thought of that. Interesting.
Yeah. And the other thing I was thinking about, speaking of hairstylist, is Gino's there in Panama for a few weeks, right?
Yeah.
He's going to have to freshen up his shave. He's going to have, right? Unless he's completely bald, like no follicles are firing at all.
I think he's bald.
But the hair still grows back a little bit, I think. He's got to keep that fresh.
I think he does it himself. As he says, he never said he's broke, but he's unemployed. I think anywhere he can save money.
That's true.
He's going to do it.
I'm just wondering if that may be the moment Jasmine spots it.
Spots what?
Whatever it is under that hat.
Oh.
Right? That could be the moment. That could be the moment of truth where she accidentally walks in on him shaving his head. And, Jasmine, get out of here. Get out of here, Jasmine. That could be it. That's all I'm saying. And I hope the cameras are there if that happens.
Oh, yeah.
So Jasmine thinks Gino is a good-looking dude, but his wardrobe is awful.
It is awful. I have to say it's 100% awful. Everything he wears is awful. The sandals, get out of here.
None of it belongs together. The Birkenstocks with the mesh shorts with the undercover hat. It's not like he was totally all sports. Like if he was wearing sneakers with the shorts with like an Under Armour hat, you'd be like, all right, cool. He's a sporty guy. He's got a vibe. He has
no vibe.
He's mismatching the worst parts of all fashions together into one. Mm-hmm. He is the walking embodiment of his apartment. Like his apartment is terribly styled. And
his apartment is no style at all. It's just horrible.
Same with his body. Mm-hmm. So, yes.
Let me just say this, right? Yes, he has no sense of fashion whatsoever. He has no sense of any design whatsoever, which it's okay because a lot of people don't. What Jasmine did, she took him to this fancy shopping center, right?
I think it was like a department store.
Well, yeah, but she picked up clothes for him that was a little too expensive, right?
Nautica. Everything was Nautica.
Oh, really? Yeah. You can find decent clothes for cheaper and still be happy with the results. But she sees him at this walking piggy bank from America who can probably afford anything, right?
Maybe, yeah.
So she could have taken him to like the TJ Maxx and just dig up something.
Oh, no. I don't think these clothes were expensive. I mean, every aisle had a 50% off sign, 60% off sign. Yeah, it was definitely a Belk or a JC
the equivalent because we are in Panama.
Right. So I don't think it was expensive. I think it was the amount of clothing she was trying to buy him.
Interesting.
Like she was trying to completely redo his wardrobe. It's like, no, just buy him one outfit for tonight if you want. Start small.
Yeah, she should have done that.
But yeah, they go to pay. It's $512 worth of Nautica, which is too much.
She's like, baby, you look amazing. She smacks his butt.
He did look better.
A little better.
Those clothes did help him.
I honestly think if maybe he should fully, maybe as you said, his head isn't fully shaved. And if he did fully shave it and put a little bit of Vaseline on it to make it a little shiny, he can rock it.
That's a good look, as the shiny bald head.
Isn't Damon from Shark Tank a little bald?
Oh, he's very bald.
Yeah, he looks great.
So is Mr. Wonderful. I don't think they put
Mr. Wonderful has side hairs.
That's true. I don't think there's Vaseline on his head, though.
I don't know. I put Vaseline on everything. I'm just saying what I would put on it.
I know you do.
I'm sure there is like a head shiner.
I don't think you need that. Someone posted like a meme or something and said, I think this is what Gino would look like bald. And it wasn't a joke or anything. I think they just photoshopped the hat off him. He looked good.
I'm telling you, it's the brother.
He's got his second, he's got a brother. Okay. So they're at the checkout. Gino's like, I didn't expect it to be this much. I might have to come back another time to get this. And Jasmine, obviously a little upset by it. She tells the cashier, he's got to go get his wallet. Please hold these clothes.
Oh my gosh.
Put them on layaway. We'll be back. So the good part of all this is that Jasmine does want Gino to spend his money on himself.
Yes, because she's trying to change him. She's trying to make him look the way she wants him to look, which I don't blame her. He has no sense of style. But at the same time, you should get to know someone before you want to change him.
Come on. She's trying to make him look presentable. If
True.
they're going out to what looked like a decent restaurant, you got to wear something other than mesh shorts and Birkenstocks.
And a backpack.
And well, Leo had a backpack too, or Leo had
Oh,
a
he
backpack.
did?
Yeah. You got to wear the backpack in Panama.
Okay.
But I think it's okay. Get the guy one nice outfit. You're going to go out to nice dinners or decent restaurants. You should look appropriate.
100%. 100%.
So I do agree. Maybe she's trying to change him a little bit, but I don't think it's for the worst. I think she's just trying to help him.
Oh, I didn't say it's for the worst. I think he needs a lot of help, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think she understands. And Gino says it too. Like, she knows of his situation. She knows
Right.
that
He's
he
unemployed.
is unemployed. He still came down here. He brought her the toothbrush. He brought all the blood pills. Like, his money's gone.
Oh, yeah. It's completely
And
invested
you're
in her.
trying to have him buy $500 worth of Nautica clothes? Come on.
So cut to later in the day. They're getting ready to meet up with Leo. Gino is dressed to unimpress. Birkenstocks, it's all out there. And Jasmine's upset. Gino didn't even buy one outfit. And here he is wearing his gym shorts and sandals to this meeting. But it is what it is.
I mean, that's his vibe.
That's
It's not a vibe
That's Gino.
Yeah, that's Gino.
So they get to the restaurant. Leo walks in. Gino kind of giving Leo this death stare, I think, trying to size him up in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And Jasmine immediately asks Leo, what do you think of Gino?
Just don't be shy. He doesn't speak Spanish. Okay.
Leo's response, he looks like an honest person.
Which is nice.
That's a good trait. And Jasmine goes, he's a unique person.
That's one way to say it.
And then Leo goes, he's perfect.
I know.
What does that mean?
Because
He's
Leo
perfect.
probably knows that Jasmine is nuts.
Maybe.
And she probably needs someone who's a little more laid back, and he's going to be her puppy.
We're getting a lot of kind ancillary characters this season because when Rosary showed up for Usman and Kim's meeting,
yeah.
Rosary was like, oh, what's Kim doing here? Just here to look cute? And like, right?
looking
And then
beautiful.
Leo's like, oh, he's perfect.
I guess people are not as bad as we think.
I know, right?
Some people.
Gives you a little hope.
a little hope.
So then Leo asks if Jasmine told Gino about the birth control pills yet.
We don't even know about the birth control pills.
We kind of do.
I mean, she mentioned it, but she didn't tell us exactly what her plan is.
Right.
Or what her plan isn't.
Right. So here's the deal. Jasmine tells the camera, we've been having unprotected intercourse and daydreaming of kids. At least Gino's been daydreaming of kids, and he's even been picking out names.
Oh, Gino.
So Jasmine says, well, I wouldn't mind having another kid, but it can wait, which I think is smart.
Very smart.
It should wait, right? You guys
Get to know each other first.
You guys
Gee.
just met each other, and she knows the commitment kids are, and she says love's not enough.
Yeah, I don't think Gino wants to get her pregnant. Then the relationship is not going to work out. He's going to go back to America. Jasmine's going to stay in Panama with his baby, and then he's going to see once a year. That's going to be a great father experience.
What do you mean? Are you saying
Well,
that?
I'm saying that Gino doesn't think about the fact that, he just wants to have a kid with Jasmine. Why don't you get to know her first? He says it himself that she's a little too much sometimes. So do you really want to get her pregnant by the end of the trip if you guys are not going to work?
Well, he wants to propose. He wants to marry her.
Yeah, but you don't know her yet.
Oh, okay. Have you ever
I'm
seen
saying-
90 Day Fiance?
Oh, I should have. But I'm saying, if the relationship doesn't work, she's going to be pregnant in Panama. He's going to go back to Michigan. gonna see the kid once a year, maybe.
That sounds like another.
Is that what you want to do? Like, is that how you want to become a father, Gino?
I don't think he's put much thought into it, but pregnant in Panama, that does sound like a 90-day spinoff.
Pregnant in Panama?
Yeah. Yeah. So Leo asks Gino, what do you think of Jasmine? And Gino says, she's amazing. Everything I want in a woman. And then Gino starts asking some questions, saying, have you ever seen Jasmine just get upset out of nowhere? And did it surprise you?
Oh, yeah.
Leo's like, well, there was this one time at the salon where my assistant burned her hair and she grabbed her and shook her.
I can see that.
That's normal, right?
I can see Jasmine losing her shit like that.
I thought about shaking my hairdresser last week when she cut my second mask. So this is the second time she's cut my mask. And I'm like, come on.
I was about to shake my hairdresser when she made my hair purple for a few days.
No, you kind of asked for it, though.
I asked for a cool blonde.
Yeah.
She made me look purple for a few days.
Okay, but
Also, guess
also
what?
That it ends well.
I'm not going back to her.
Oh, you'll show her.
Well, she left my salon and I was like, let me support her. I'll go to her new place. Oh, hell no. I'm going back to my salon with a new lady.
Okay. Well, don't shake your new lady.
Hopefully she's not going to dye my hair purple.
Be careful what you ask for. You were telling me 10 times a day. You're like, I think I want to dye my hair pink. I think I want to dye my hair purple.
Oh, but that's not what I requested. I never said purple. I said, I want a cool blonde, not purple.
Okay. Either way, new day. Feliz Navidad. It's Christmas. Gino should at least be wearing a Santa hat if he wants to wear a hat today.
Literally.
They're waking up at the hotel, and Gino has big plans for Christmas because I guess they don't make hungry men breakfasts, or you can't get him in Panama because his plan is he's going to cook. He's a master when it comes to breakfast.
Well, he doesn't cook often, but when it comes to eggs, he can make anything.
Because I can rock anything with eggs.
I'm surprised that he didn't Google what being a vegan means because I would.
Do you think he even listened? Do you think he even heard when she said that?
Well, he clearly doesn't listen because as she was making the eggs, she's like, baby, I'm a vegan. We don't eat any animal products. He's like, so sunny side up
Right.
or what do you want? An omelette?
Right.
And she didn't say anything else. She made him do the eggs, put it in front of her, and she's like, vegans don't eat animals.
He
And
wants
he's
to
like,
fertilize her eggs.
Oh, he sure does.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Gino's like, okay, I think I'm starting to understand vegans more. And Jasmine goes, okay, what's vegan? And he goes, well, you eat the kind of foods involved with being vegan.
I laughed so hard. I'm like,
using the word to define the word.
I was literally like, Gino, you clearly don't understand. Just think of food and anything that has anything to do with an animal is a no-no.
Mm-hmm.
The second it came out of an animal, it touched an animal or anything, it's a no-no. No cheese, no eggs, no milk, no meat, nothing.
Nothing.
No eggs.
No.
It's not that hard. It's weird, but not hard.
So forget breakfast. That was a flop. Back into bed they go. And Jasmine has some Christmas gifts.
I kind of like what she did because she thought of it.
You've done this. You've given me both of these gifts.
What do you mean?
You've given me a shirt that you've made for me.
So many.
And you've given me a pillow.
Yeah, I made it for you too.
I'm just saying that you've done exactly this.
But I actually make it myself. I design it.
We don't know if this is a generic t-shirt you buy on the streets of Panama. You think so?
Yes.
You think there's a lot of crazy Panamanian girlfriends?
I've seen t-shirts saying, oh, my girlfriend is a crazy Czech.
Oh.
And then the other shirt says, I'm the crazy Czech.
Oh, why haven't you got me that one?
Because I'm not crazy.
Okay. Tomato, tomato. So, all right. Then it comes time for Gino to give his gifts.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, guess I should have waited till Christmas to give you your toothbrush.
Dude.
But, yeah.
He should have gotten her earrings or something, like below $50, something that's nice.
Yeah, how did he blow this? Even if you gave her the toothbrush on Christmas, that would have been a fail.
Like, you and I, we gave each other the toothbrushes, but this is what we do. We always give each other whatever gift, and then we do one joint gift that we're like, oh, let's give something to both of us, and we both pay for it. So we did the toothbrushes.
Right. It wasn't the only gift. It was
It was the joint gift.
It was one of several gifts.
Yeah.
This was Gino's one and only gift, and kind of blew it. Although in his defense, I will say he paid for that hotel suite.
True.
Which looked very nice. Mm-hmm. Because Jasmine's like, I know what you did for women in the past. I saw your social media. You took one bitch to Europe.
He's like, yeah, that's where I had money, but I'm out of work for 7 months, which I don't understand. I feel like if you are an experienced engineer, I get it, shit happens, you lose your job. But if you're actively looking, I'm sure he would find something by now, like something, maybe not his dream job, but something to make money, which this is how I see things. Like I would not, if I couldn't, I would not be picky. If I had to find a job, I would do anything to have a job. Once I do have a job, I can go back to trying to look and be picky.
Right. And it definitely is COVID times, and he is getting older. So those two things make it tough to find a job.
True.
But one thing for sure, I wouldn't be flying to Panama for weeks to meet a woman I don't know and putting us up in a swanky hotel suite. That's 100%, one thing I wouldn't do.
100%.
So priorities, Gino. Although we know his priorities, he spends all of his money on blue pills that he
and
found on some shady website. Not even, well, some takeout, some frozen dinners. That's probably the most cost-conscious thing he does is the TV dinners.
Yeah. Dude, if you cooked, you would save more money.
That's also very true. Okay. That's Gino and Jasmine. Brings us to Mike and
Ximena.
So Mike's first morning in Colombia. They're waking up in bed.
Harold Steven comes.
Harold Steven making an appearance, and always happy to see Harold Steven.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's Harold Steven because I think Harold Steven is the younger one.
Yep.
Based on the last episode. And this child looked like the younger one.
Looked like the younger one. Could be Juan David. We don't know. But I'm thinking Harold Steven. And Mike tells us it's been a intense 24 hours. Not only did I just meet Ximena, but I met her entire extended family.
I banged Ximena.
And we banged.
Several times, apparently.
Several times. Mike and Ximena are sitting there talking to the cameras. And Mike goes, our first night together in bed was the best time I've ever had with a woman.
I was going to say, so he had other times that were awesome, but not with a woman.
I know. We could dissect this 32 ways till Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why he added that.
He's probably like, the one time when I got the whole Lego and I made the castle with the dragon, that was a great time, but I was alone.
Right. I don't think he was saying he's had crazy times with Larry and Hyman. I think he was just saying, yeah, me and my Legos versus me and a woman. This takes the cake. He says, Ximena knocked it out of the park over and over and over again.
Well, that's the only language they can speak, the language of love.
Well, Memphis and Hamza too, and that didn't work out too well.
Well, not too well, but for Ximena, she says, well, it was normal, nothing out of the world.
But then,
this world.
To add insult to injury, she goes, but I think for Mike, it was the best moment of his life. So brutal.
You can tell that Mikey is a nice dude. He keeps to himself. He probably doesn't go out and bangs girls. Meanwhile, Ximena have a child with a prisoner. And as we saw in the previews, she apparently lived with a hitman.
Oh,
you didn't see the previews?
No, I saw the word hitman come up in the subtitles, and I was trying to make sense of it.
How do you know he's not going to come back and attack us? And that's where the previews ended. But
so good.
Ximena's definitely wild.
So good. Okay. So cut to 2 hours later. Mike, Ximena, the entire family, and maybe the entire town, they're heading to Ximena's favorite place in Colombia. And of course, as we want with all of these couples, Caleb and Alina, Mike and Ximena, Mike just wants to spend alone time. But that's not the case. They like chartered a bus to get everyone to this to this spring.
It was like a van.
Yeah. They're caravanning. They've got a freaking traffic going there with all the family members. And they arrive at San Miguel Terminal Spa, a hot spring in Santa Rosa.
It looked great.
It looked okay. It looked like a public pool a little bit.
I think what I'm saying, like, it looked great when you looked at the waterfalls, and I wish those were like more of a natural pools.
Right.
But
looked a little city pool-ish.
Yeah. But I'm sure it was nice and warm because of the springs.
Sure. I mean, it's an aphrodisiac because they get in that pool and
Yamir is just watching them with this like stone cold face.
Forget that Yamir is giving them the death stare. They cannot keep their lips off each other.
Lot of making out while Stephen Harold and Harold, Stephen, no.
Harold, Stephen, and Juan David.
Oh, Juan David. Harold, Stephen, and Juan David just like swimming around.
Yeah, Mike goes, this is a very romantic setting. Is it? Like,
Mike probably has never been to any romantic settings before.
Right. If you guys were alone, maybe. If it was just you two and the lifeguard, maybe.
Okay, I'm about to put you on the spot. You ready?
Oh boy, I'm nervous.
What's the most romantic settings you and I ever had? Just like from the top of your head, because we've done a lot of things.
Okay, from the top of my head. Oh, I don't know. I feel like you have something in your mind, and I don't.
But I want to know what you have in your mind.
Some of the most romantic settings, your parents were there, like in Czech at the castles.
Yeah,
like that's pretty romantic. On the beach in Barcelona.
Yeah,
that's pretty romantic. The rooftop in Finland. That was pretty romantic. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I was thinking the first New Year's Eve we spent together in Prague before the whole city went nuts.
That was romantic.
And we were standing in the middle and just like, Happy New Year.
That was romantic.
And then we have like a nice photo from there. It's a little blurry, but
it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, it was a selfie of us making out.
Yeah, making out in public, which we don't do often, but on New Year's Eve, why not?
YOLO.
Yeah, all these little travel moments.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the romance is getting out of your everyday.
Oh, 100%. But you know what I thought you were going to say as one of yours? Remember?
John Mayer concert? Your Body's a Wonderland?
I freaking love John Mayer. When the first time I brought you to Czech and we had this crazy, what do you call it?
Sex?
Well, that too.
No, hey, Rachel.
That's my sister. We had this crazy, not insomnia. What is it called when the time
jet
difference?
lag.
Crazy jet lag. And we were just like laying in bed like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. And so we're like, let's just do shots and eat some snacks. So I went downstairs and I brought some shots.
I wouldn't say that was romantic,
snacks.
but that was special.
It was special.
Like we had just got to Czech. We couldn't sleep. We're just laying there going, what do we do?
It's like 3 a.m.
It's 3 a.m. So we got like a bag of Czech chips.
Yeah.
A bottle of homemade slivovica.
And like some Czech pretzels.
And we put on a movie on the iPad. And we're just like having a little bit of a slumber party movie night at 3 a.m. Sun's coming up by the time we fell asleep. Yeah, it was somewhat romantic, but it was very special.
Yeah. And yet that was still very fresh because we were just dating for like about a year.
Yeah.
So still very fresh.
That was nice. That was a nice trip down memory lane.
Yeah,
I was talking about all of our romance.
Back to these lovers.
Okay, back to this not romantic setting at all. Ximena gets out of the pool with her sister Wendy, which that's a fascinating name in Colombia. Is that a popular name in Colombia, Wendy?
I mean, we have Jennifer.
Oh, that's true of Jesse and Jennifer. Although I feel like Jennifer is more of an international name.
No, we don't have Jennifers in Czech or in Europe, I don't think.
Okay, but I mean, in South America.
Some people might be like, oh, I want to name my kid this American name, but no.
Okay, so Ximena and Wendy, they're chatting. Wendy's asking how the night with Mike was, and Ximena says it went really well. And Wendy goes, you gave him something special?
Oh, she sure did.
She gave it all.
She gave it all.
Ximena says, yeah, we got intimate. And Wendy asks, okay, well, if Mike proposes to you, is that what you want? Are you going to say yes? And she goes, of course. Too soon.
Too soon.
It's too soon.
She's looking for the better life.
But yeah, she is looking for the better life. And then, dun, 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 Wendy goes, does Mike know you can't have kids? And Ximena just shakes her head.
And that's the drama from last time when we all thought that she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm. It's actually the opposite.
It's the opposite.
Turns out she can't have kids.
Yeah. Her 2 baby deliveries by the cesarean were so painful that she decided to, and this is what she said, quote unquote, get her tubes cut and burned. Which I heard of getting your tubes tied.
Yes.
But not cut and burned.
Okay. You're very intuitive. It sounds medieval, but according to my Google medical degree,
okay,
this is what we call getting your tubes tied. This is
cut and burn?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
At least, again, according to my Google MD, that is when I Googled cutting and burning tubes, pregnancy, it came up with getting your tubes tied. So I think that is maybe just the way she was saying. Again, I don't know, not a doctor.
You know how it is that's something in Czech we say different than in English, but it means the same thing? Or you would, if I translate something from Czech directly into English, you're going to be like, what?
Or maybe it really is cutting and burning, but that sounds aggressive, so we just say tying.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Either way,
yeah.
She can't have kids. Again, not so easy at least.
But
yes,
Mike does want to have kids. He wants to be a dad, and I can see it. He is a child himself.
He's a caretaker. He's taking care of Hyman. He's taking care of his dad. He plays with the Legos. He is a caretaker, and apparently he's very excited to have a child of his own.
Yes.
And you see the way he is with Harold, Stephen, and Juan David. he is a fatherly figure. And,
I love the names.
And he enjoys that. Mm-hmm. So it is going to be a big blow if he finds this out. And Ximena tells the cameras, I know it was wrong not to tell Mike earlier, but I really wanted him to come so we could meet and I could tell him in person.
That's an expensive tell you in person kind of thing.
And I get it. I understand it, but it's wrong. This is something you tell someone before they hop on a plane and come see you.
Especially if the person is telling you that they do want to have kids. Like, you know that this person wants to have a child.
That's
he wants to be a father. He's helping you out with your kids and everything, but you know about this and you chose not to tell him. That's just wrong.
If they never spoke about kids, then fine. There's no need to bring it up. But if you're having a conversation and Mike's saying, I can't wait to be a father, I can't wait to start a family, you got to tell the guy. You got to tell him. So
I think that's definitely something, regardless, she should have told him, like, hey, like, before you come, maybe there is something I have to tell you. Like, I do have 2 kids, but moving forward, I cannot have kids again because of A, B, C, D.
Right.
Hope you're okay with that. That's it.
So she says, tonight's going to be the night. I'm going to tell him, and hopefully he understands.
And it's happening. They're still at the thermos.
I know, they're still at the hot spring.
Yeah.
But at least they're alone now. So they can talk, or at least try to have that Tamagotchi talk for them.
It wasn't too bad this time, the Tamagotchi.
It worked, unfortunately, for Mike. It worked because Ximena says, seeing you play with Juan David and Harold Stephen, I know you'd be a great dad, but I can't have children. I got an operation and can never have kids again.
Dun, dun, dun.
Poor Mike looks so sad. He's speechless. Ximena actually looks upset that she had to tell him this. And Mike, rightfully so, is like, why am I just finding out about this? Mm-hmm. And Ximena says, well, I was nervous if you knew you would leave me.
Well, then Mike says, you know what? It's the 21st century. There are ways. And I thought him saying there are ways saying they can get a surrogate, they can adopt. Not that someone's going to untie her tubes. I don't even think that's possible, is it?
Everything's possible.
I guess.
And again, reminded me of The Office with Michael Scott. Snip, snap, snip, snap. He's like, do you know the emotional toll having this many vasectomies takes on a man?
Which is interesting. What's better if like a couple decides they're done having kids? The vasectomy or the tubes?
I don't know. I'd have to Google. To Google.
I'll Google too.
Yeah, we'll save that for a later podcast. But it's a valid question. So Mike tells the camera they talked about having one more kid on the phone. And she knew it was always a dream of his. So it's a bit of a shocker. And he's going to be devastated if they can't have kids on their own. Mm-hmm. So crazy. They talked about having a kid together. And she kept this from him.
Yeah.
She needed to wait until her apartment was furnished. I
yeah.
guess to break the news.
She wanted to finish Mike's apartment first and then be like, hey, Mike, come and see your apartment. By the way, I cannot have kids. That should have been an email.
Yeah. Yep. It's
not
sad.
Not a travel across the world.
It's sad. It's sad. But it's reality.
Yeah. I was almost going to say, the saying like, oh, that should have been an email.
Mm-hmm.
This should have been a meeting. Forget the email. This should have been a meeting. Her telling him on Zoom or FaceTime about the not being able to have kids. Instead, she had him fly to South America to reveal these news.
And after the sex. So it was like, I'm going to rock your world.
Oh, she knows what she's doing.
I'm going to rock your world. Going to get you in the palm of my hands. And then I'm going to break the news to you.
Oh, she knows what's up.
Oh, boy. All right. Let's see what happens with them. We got one last couple.
Last but not least.
Ella and Johnny.
And let me ask you this, right? It seems like this is not going to work out.
Not a chance.
But we also know that there is another couple hopefully entering the scene.
Ben
most
and
likely Ben and Mahogany. Most likely next episode because we saw it in the previews, right?
Yes.
Do you think that's the end of Johnny and Ella?
I don't think this is the end of Johnny and Ella, right? Because I think we need some real closure if Johnny's not going to come. I think there needs to be, I'm not coming. Maybe we'll try to make it work in the future. I don't think they could just let it go here.
No, but why are they going to bring this last couple in so late in the game?
Well, I don't think Ella and Johnny are going to go the distance this season. I don't think we're on episode 5. Let's say this thing goes 20 episodes. I don't think there's 15 or 14 or 13 or 12 or 10 more episodes of them.
Yeah.
So I think maybe they'll fizzle out over the next episode or two.
Yeah.
And then we can have Ben and Mahogany. But we're getting to the point where we're not doing every couple every episode. We didn't have Kim and Usman this episode.
True.
So I think we're going to introduce Ben and Mahogany, and then I think, Ella and Johnny are going to fade out.
Yeah, let's see.
All right, let's talk about him. Johnny is with his son, Stoney. And speaking of names, Wendy, Stoney. Stoney is not your typical Chinese name, I don't think.
I don't think so. I think Johnny is watching too much of Western TV.
You're right. He does want to be that redneck cowboy.
Yeah.
And so this is, as far as I know, this is an American name, Stoney.
Stoney.
5 years old, loves ice cream.
Stoney is very cute.
A cute kid, adorable kid. And Johnny just wants to spend some time with Stoney and his family before he heads to the States to meet Ella.
Apparently, Stoney knows about Ella because Ella is his friend too.
Oh, yeah.
Which is sweet.
It's very cute. And I'm sure they all have a lot in common. I'm sure they all watch the same shows, Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z. So I'm sure that's why they are friendly. Mm-hmm. They have so much in common. So Johnny says it's common in China for the grandparents to take care of the grandkids, especially when the parents work a lot. So that's what the arrangement is here.
So he is in Jinan City right now. That's where Stoney lives with his grandparents.
Yes. So he's visiting his parents' house. The family is making dumplings.
I love Chinese dumplings.
Looking so good. Yeah, very different than Czech dumplings.
Yeah, Czech dumplings are mostly, it's like a piece of bread, but it's not. But it's a similar texture.
Yeah.
Nothing like Chinese dumplings.
No. And I think we shouted this place out last pod, but worth shouting them out again. If you're in Asheville, Shanghai Dumpling House.
Oh my gosh.
So
Stop
good.
it.
Okay.
I took a photo of the food, which I don't take photo of food ever, but I did. And I look at it sometimes. Because it just reminds me of the way I felt. No, it reminds me of the way I felt when I eat it, and it was one of the best things I've ever had.
It was unbelievable.
It was a fried rice shoved in a pineapple,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just so good,
So
good.
Yeah. Okay. So they're cooking, and we learn Johnny helps his parents with money. And that's no surprise, especially because they look after Stoney.
Well, it seems like he's the one who makes the money. He's the breadwinner.
He's the breadwinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they all start talking about Johnny's past. And apparently, speaking of exes, Johnny's ex and his parents didn't get along at all.
No.
And that's a big reason why they didn't last.
Yeah.
So Johnny's mom's like, so you don't think there'll be fights if you marry a foreign girl? And Johnny goes, well, you can't understand her and she can't understand you. So both of you have to communicate through me, which is probably best.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it is probably best, not necessarily for Johnny and Ella, but yeah, you get to steer the perception of Ella. You get to say, oh, this is what she said. And then you get to steer the perception of the parents. The parents could be like, oh, what are you doing with this girl? Oh, what did she say? Oh, they said, nice to meet you. They love it.
I don't do it to you. I'm very honest.
I
My
wouldn't
parents
know.
love you.
I wouldn't know. But they love me probably because of whatever you translate to them.
No, I'm very honest.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure I've made a
I
couple.
told my mom you don't want to eat her carp.
Let me just say, if your parents could listen to this podcast and understand it, they may have a different idea of me.
They would just think you're a little dirty.
Right, exactly.
But also,
Why is he getting my daughter to say ejaculate all the time?
I mean, this is. I was gonna say we're doing this for the pod, but we're not. Like this is our communication. Like we talk like this, right?
Yeah.
It's
But not in front of your parents is my point.
No, but not in front of your parents either. This is us. This is what
Right.
you and I do. This is how you and I communicate, and it's fine, right? Mm-hmm. In front of the parents, you always dial back a little, unless you get carried away, and you forget that your mom is around, and I call you something crazy, and then your mom is like, "What did you say?
What did you just call my son?" I think you called me a hoe.
Hoe bag.
A
I
hoe
called
bag.
you a hoe bag.
It was a very real kind of Natalie and Trish moment when it's like you called me a hooker. It's like you did call me a hooker in front of my mom.
I called you a hoe bag.
Hoe bag. Sorry.
Not a hooker.
But with love. It was all
with love,
said
guys.
with love.
We called each other a hoe bag as a joke once in a while,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I forgot there was COVID-19. We've been home for so long, and then we finally went to Connecticut. And so we were like talking about something in the kitchen, laughing. And I like forgot where we were. So I was just like, oh my gosh, you're such a hoe bag. And then your mom was standing right there. She's like, what did you say?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Nothing.
oh my God. And you like died laughing.
Yeah. It was fun. Okay. So Johnny's mom always wanted him to find a Chinese girl, which is, I think, pretty understandable.
Yeah.
And Johnny said, well, that's hard because China had this strict policy that families could only have one child, and many families prefer to have a son. So now there's a very limited number of women living there.
Which is a legit thing, guys.
It is. Yeah, it's so legit. It's really dark. If you guys aren't aware, I'm sure many of you are, female infanticide was a very real thing where they would more or less do away with girls because
Up to 1 year old, which
Up
is
to 1
sad.
years old.
Like, why do you take no? This whole thing is just disturbing, right? But it was even more disturbing. It's like you're gonna keep the baby for 10 months, and then you're like,
No, I don't.
it's a girl.
I don't think so. I think you probably do it right away. I don't know.
just
I'm
horrible.
speaking out of turn here.
Horrifying.
But no, it's so sad. And you almost wonder, as a Chinese man, as Johnny is, wouldn't you want to get married to a Chinese woman in China and maybe try to have a girl to grow that population? Because
Yeah.
I know in the Jewish community, at least in Israel, there is this emphasis on having children to grow the population after the Holocaust.
Mm-hmm.
We want to reproduce and try to make up for those millions who were killed. And so I almost wonder, is there a similar sentiment in China? It doesn't seem that way with Johnny. He's like, I want to get the hell out of there, and I want to impregnate Ella and live happily ever after on a ranch. But it definitely crossed my mind.
Yeah,
so
I get it.
Johnny's family, not really worried about his love life. They're more worried about his financial standing. And if he can't find a job in the States, he can't support us back in China.
Once again, they mentioned that Johnny has a good job in China.
Yeah.
Which is great. So I think he's the one who takes care of Sony and the parents and himself, paying for an apartment in Shanghai, paying for an apartment in Jinan City.
Yep.
And him going to the US, at least at the beginning, he won't be able to work.
No.
Like, straight up honesty, he won't. It takes some time. And once he gets his visa, then his level of English has to be somehow decent if he wants to find a decent job, right?
For sure.
Decent job meaning he will need to support his new family in America and his family back in China. I don't see this.
No. So let's cut to Idaho. Ella is on her way to the gym, and pretty sure she had an Ed Hardy steering wheel cover.
Did she?
Yes.
I once had an Ed Hardy t-shirt.
Okay. I was going to say she probably has a Von Dutch hat hiding somewhere too. Did you have a Von Dutch hat?
No.
But that is, to me, that is a culture clash. She's talking Dragon Ball Z, but then Ed Hardy tees and Ed Hardy steering wheel covers. It's out of control. I couldn't believe I saw that.
I think I bought an Ed Hardy t-shirt when I moved to the US.
It was the thing to do back then.
Yeah, it's like 11 years ago.
Yeah. So she still got it on her steering wheel. And we learn her goal is to lose 10 to 20 pounds before Johnny arrives in a couple weeks. And forget the herbs and spices. She's going to do this the old-fashioned way. She's going to go to the gym.
Good.
Yeah. She's going to go to Planet Fitness.
And she's getting a personal trainer.
Yes. She's dedicated to this. She's put her mind to this. She's going to put in the work that she needs to put in. And she wants to lose the weight before Johnny gets there. She tells her trainer this. And the trainer starts working her out. This is Caleb and Alina part 2. I don't know why we're seeing so much working out on this episode.
I mean, good.
No, it is
healthy.
Good. It is good. So, okay. While Ella is at the gym, she gets a message. Johnny's visa got denied for Singapore.
Which is a big hit because I don't think he can fly from China to the US.
Interesting. I don't know.
I think that's why he was trying to go to Singapore first, get a visa, quarantine, and then go to the US.
Makes sense.
So this is a big issue.
So Ella calls Johnny. He doesn't answer. And Ella's like, I don't get it. Well, why was the visa denied? I don't know, lady. Turn on the news. We're in a worldwide pandemic.
Like, girl, and I've said it so many times that I hate to repeat it, but I'm going to. Until November, no one could have come to the US until you somehow successfully did one of the loops that you went to the Caribbean and then actually got approved to come to the US, right?
Right.
My parents couldn't come. No one could have come.
No.
Until November.
I don't get it. Why would it be denied? I don't know. Go back to your Wiccan circle and do some proactive witchery or whatever.
And also, forget COVID-19, right? She loves the Asian culture. She knows that it's Stony. They're the parents. She's a single girl. She doesn't have a family. She doesn't have any... I don't think she has like a job that she just loves that she doesn't want to leave, right?
Not that we know of, yeah.
Then her thing is like eventually she's going to take over the ranch, right?
Right.
Why doesn't she move to Asia?
Right. That's a good question.
Why doesn't she go there?
I think probably because of the pandemic.
Well, yeah, but I think she can go. I think Americans can go to China.
I don't know.
Anyways, I think they're doing, that's why I said, forget COVID-19. He has Stony. He has the parents. Like, why doesn't she just go there? She loves the culture.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
I don't know, because again, I don't think they truly love each other. They love the idea of each other. She loves the Asian culture. He loves the Western culture. So they don't really want to be together. They actually do. They want to be in each other's countries.
I think she does love him.
They never met. Don't you dare say that they love each other.
No, but I feel like she's had a hard time meeting guys and everything. And there is finally this one who's really there for her. And he's trying to help her to lose weight. They talk about openly about all these things. I think she does love him.
So maybe she thinks she loves him.
Maybe.
There's no way she could love this guy.
No. But I'm saying the idea, like, yes, she's there. She's 100% committed to this.
I would love to know the cumulative amount of time they've even spoken to each other. Because as she told us, there's this 12-hour time difference, which makes it so hard. You're not going to sit on the phone with each other for hours at a time. They may have talked to each other for a handful of hours over the months that they've known each other.
I mean, who knows?
Who knows? I know she doesn't love him. She might think she loves him.
Yes, she might think she loves him.
He loves her. But until you meet face to face, come on, let's not throw that L word around.
I agree.
Okay. That's it. That's Ella and Johnny.
The episode.
I don't think he's making it to the States.
No, he's not.
But stranger things have happened. Lana made an appearance in David's life. So stranger things have happened.
Listen, Michael has been trying to come here for years.
Yeah.
Even before COVID.
Very true.
So.
Never say never, though. That's why we watch this show, to be surprised.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see. It was a great episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We love talking about it.
Love talking about this.
Make sure you guys follow the podcast wherever you're listening. Apple, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you're following the podcast because we have so many podcasts coming. We don't want you to miss them. So look down and smash that follow button.
Yeah, guys. Smash it like it's super duper hot.
Woo!
And don't forget to go on our Instagram, follow us, and check out our most recent post about our podcast schedule. Because, guys, it's going to be busy.
Teresa, what is our Instagram handle?
It's Married to Reality Pod.
She got it. She got it. You guys got it. So get on over there and follow it. Also, it's staring me in the face. She's wearing the luxurious long sleeve black Married to Reality tee. She looks good in it. You guys would look good in it too. If you want to pick it up, marriedtorealitypodcast.com. There's a button for the store. Check it out. There's actually a promo code still going on right now. Promo code MAFS. All caps, MAFS. We are celebrating the launch of our coverage of MAFS. We're celebrating the season kickoff, season 14. So we're giving you 14% off anything in the store with promo code MAFS.
Available until Friday.
Maybe Saturday.
Well, depends how proactive John's going to be with canceling this.
MAFS, all caps, 14% off.
Yes.
And once again, thank you for the reviews. It means a lot. We really appreciate it. If you haven't left a review, please do. TRJVBP. Thank you so much for doing that. And that's all. Have you said it all?
I've said way too much.
You said way too much. Say ejaculate one more time for our friends.
Good night, guys.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.